Hello everyone, my name is Maniyashi from Dreamvision Creations. I want to thank you for joining us on part 5 of how to build your own small hoof shoes. This is the very last one of a part 5 series, and with this one we're just going to be finally attaching the fabric onto the hoof shoe shape, which we have here, and lining it with a nice little spandex cuff just to make it more comfortable. I'll be showing you my techniques of how to glue down the fur, as well as doing some fine trimming around the edges and make sure everything fits just right. In this one, we're just going to need the fabric covering that we made in part 4, and a little bit of a spandex ring about 1.5 inches wide. It's already been pre-sewed, so it fits exactly the size of the cuff top. A pair of sharp scissors, slicker brush, some clips or pins, hot glue gun, preferably with high temperature hot glue, and a sewing machine or a hand sewing set for thread and sewing needle. That's all you really need for this particular part of the tutorial. I'm going to actually stretch this over on the outside of my fur. Alrighty, I got a ton of clippies on here. Since I'll be just flipping this material over, I'm not too worried about the edge there. So you can have a nice, really clean edge. You'll then be flipping inside like this. And create a really nice, clean cuff. And that'll also wrap around the inner liner. But that's one of the very last steps to be finishing off this seam. So our next step is actually to slide over top of the foot. I've already removed the duct tape dummy. Fits properly over place. I did remove some material here, about 1/2 inch or so, because I found it being too long, and then when I was stepping in the foot, the fur was dragging it pretty bad on the back. But I do plan to trim this back anyway, so it won't be as bad as it is right now. Now, with my shoes, I try to be very minimalistic about how much glue I use. I don't try to glob it all on the big areas here. I like to try to give them still free movement. And that way you can take this shoe and I literally just throw it in the washing machine and it'll wash just fine without too much hot glue. I'm just going right around the edge here, and then I'm going to go right around the edge where the two parts of fur are, and then put some on the heel. And that's it. That's all the hot glue I'm using. I'm not going to go around this upper edge. The sewing is going to take care of that, so I'm not worried about it. And I'll also hot glue around the very bottom edge here. So literally it's just covering all the attachment edges. So now there is hot glue all the way around here, on both sides, all on the heel, around the foot, on both sides. And now we've got to wait for this part of the heel to cool. We're going to go flip it over and work on the heel of the shoe. Got the inner liner here just kind of floating around. So the same process as we did before with adding spandex to the fur, and we're meeting them together. Just kind of trying to stretch out that liner. So at this time I'm going to use straight pins just to kind of hold the liner in place. In no way is this like a normal way to do a liner, I will say that, but I kind of make do with what I know and learned. So I'm going to use a straight pin just to kind of get this inner liner in place, make sure I'm keeping that fabric on the top stretched out. Now you can see the liner's more in place, easier to work with. So now I'm going to actually roll this edge over top my liner, and I'm going to bring it all the way down to where my straight pin is. That's to show you how nice that edge is going to look once I sew it. So basically I'll be running it through the machine like I did the first time and just doing a nice stitch all the way across here. I'm going to do a zigzag. And it's nice and stretchy because we use a zigzag stitch. It's not super stretchy because we have the foam and all the other padding here. You can see it's nicely lined, you can still see the shoe inside. And the very last thing I'm going to do is just trim up this bottom a little bit. Best way to trim fur is to not go straight across. And make sure you have a trash can on hand because you're going to make a mess. is the finished hoof shoe. Thank you so much for watching all these tutorials. If you really like them, please hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our channel for future updates on newer videos. I will continue updating every other week with new videos on how to use our products and how to finish them off to make your own costumes. Thank you so much. Bye bye everybody.